What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Threezero G.I. Joe Storm Shadow, and you can order this figure and other G.I. Joe figures or Threezero at BigBadToyStore.com. They actually have the lowest price out of these guys, anywhere else. So click the link down below. $4 shipping. They can put it on Pile of Loot and ship it all at once, and you only pay $4. So it doesn't matter if you order 20 figures. Ship them all together, $4. So yeah, definitely check the link down below. And let's take a look at the packaging here. I'm a huge fan of G.I. Joe. So this has a close tie to me. I love the packaging of Threezero first and foremost because it is very collector friendly, meaning it doesn't take up too much space. The only thing, it doesn't have a brown shipper, if you want to resell it later on. But at the same time, because the packaging is so small, I'm pretty sure you can just pick up any Amazon box and throw it in there if it happens to be that you're going to sell it at a later time. This is how they make their packaging work. You see all those little, trays here and there to save space, basically. And I love that. I love the fact that they have this in mind. First, they're going to save on shipping because it's so much smaller. And second, you can have multiples of these and it doesn't take out real estate in your bedroom or whatever it is that you store your packaging. Now, it comes with variety of hands, and contrary to Snake Eyes, which the hands came on like a plastic tray, this one is actually included in the box itself, so it doesn't have just a plastic thing where you just kind of break it open. This figure has seamless arms, as you can tell, and this is more of the cartoon 80s look version, or comic book if you want to call it that way, rather than the Hot Toys movie version. And it's good to have variety, and I have both, and maybe one of these days I'm gonna do a comparison video, but I think it's no competition right now. This is so cheap. This comes around in Big Bad at around $145. Now you can get a special edition, and you can see on the back, this is just, it has like a plastic on it, so it doesn't even have a tray, which again saves space, and it does have like a little foam so you can maintain the shape of this sword that he does have, or a holder. And let's take a look at the hands. He got some fisted hands, some sword gripping hands, and this is the arrow hand, I suppose, where he's pulling the strings. That's why you see the fingers bended that way. And he also does have a arrow, like a bow holding hand. You can see the details are quite nice. You get some nunchucks here. Those are actual metal. They're not plastic. So, I mean, I don't know why they would even make that plastic, but, painted nicely. It has a little bit of weathering on it because the hands are a bit tight. So, I'm assuming it was like, hey, you're going to rub some paint over time, but, it is what it is. And you have some arrows. They actually come with a few arrows in here. I think it's the arrows are too many, perhaps, because once you put them on the quiver, or I don't know if you can call it a quiver, because it's a built-in to his sheath in his back. Yeah, it's a bit overcrowded in there, but here you go. This is his bow, which looks it threw me off at first. I don't know which way it goes, but which one is upside. Is it upside down or whatever the case is? The one with a hook is actually facing up, and he got his katana in here, or if you want to call it samurai or sword. I don't know the difference, honestly, but yeah, it's not die cast, it's plastic, but nicely painted. It is not bad at all, and this is made out of rubber. Again, it depends on you whether you think that's good or not. Pure rubber, so no pleather issues, no pleather, it's not gonna flake or anything like that, but at the same time, it might not be realistic to some people. And as far as the body is concerned, I think it looks great. I have some figures from Threezero in the past who has seamless arms. Rambo, Walking Dead, and all that stuff. But so far, none has peeled yet or any cracking. Mind you, I don't post my figures, especially figures that has seamless arms, bent for a long period of time. I normally just take a picture and then put them back on like a museum post. Just that is to take care of your figures. That is your responsibility, I suppose. But yeah, so I'm not concerned with this one. It will have limited articulation because of that. But I'd rather sacrifice that, for a better aesthetics, especially for this figure because it could bend still. It's just not fully bent, but it is doable. And you can see his back, as you can see the quiver right there on his back. The arrows are not aligned so much because I feel like they're a little bit crowded. I know maybe one arrow is not supposed to be in there, perhaps, because he's supposed to hold it or, somewhere else. But I'm not going to make him hold his bow, all throughout. I'm just going to put him in like a neutral pose, like a museum pose, and that would be it. And put the bow on his foot or something like that. Now, for anyone who's expecting, he does not have a stand. This is a, my turntable for the longest time now. It's been 10 years and I've been using this. But you can easily swing a stand on eBay or anywhere else. Those oval black stands. So, yeah. As far as the head sculpt, again, it is not the movie version. So you are looking at like a more cartoon slash, comic book, not comic book, but cartoon, comic book version. So it's good. Threezero is a hit or miss, is the best way to put it. They have some figures like Rambo, who's amazing, and then they can give you Sansa Stark, which looks absolutely nothing like the actress. So this being a character that doesn't resemble an actual person is a good thing, because you're not gonna be disappointed. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, it's $145. It's half of what Hot Toys is asking for. And I just watched, Snake Eyes Origins. It's not the best movie that I've seen. It's also not the worst. But I like the fact that I do have, Storm Shadow, in another version, because I do have the Hot Toys version already, in this format. And you can see the back of his mask. Now, the mask is purely plastic. But you can see it kind of resembles, and on the back, I don't know why, maybe it's missing something, I don't know. But you can kind of see his ear from here. That it kind of gives you the impression that it's an actual person out there just wearing a mask. So that's pretty cool right there. Now, as far as the articulation, let's take a look at this one. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's ratcheted joints, right? His elbow is not, but his arms are, especially when you pull them on the side. Moving forward, it's not, it's not ratcheted, but moving backward. But as you can tell right here, there's a lot of range of movements here. Now, if you move him upwards more, it'll hit that little rubber, plastic, whatever the case is, part of his outfit. So, you can't really do a full 360 on his arm, but you don't need to. As far as the legs, it could bend pretty freely. He is wearing a fabric pants, so no hindrance there whatsoever. The elbows can, pretty much bend halfway through. Now there's a separate neck piece in here, and so you can kind of put it down. And then as far as neck looking up, you can kind of force it, but you don't really, I don't know what kind of pose you're doing for him to do that, but yeah, you can put a split. So far, range of movement, I have no problems with it whatsoever. There's some restrictions on the ab because of it being rubber, but that's pretty much it. And you can see here, he is shooting someone. Now, as far as, doing this bow and arrow pose, that's always a bit tricky. Now, is not only for any figures, but especially with someone who has seamless arms, because you want him to fully extend it. But there's two factors here: the bow itself and the arm, which is both of them doesn't have too much give, so I can't really extend the arm holding the bow, and also the bow, that string doesn't bend too much. So this is the most you could do, and to be quite honest, it's fair. And as far as holding his blades, his swords, it looks pretty cool. Again, the swords are not die cast or made out of metal or anything, but it is painted nicely that you can get away with it. Arms raised, as you can see here, the elbows are bent. If those kind of things make you kind of go cringe because of the bent on the arms, don't do it for a long period of time. But just what I'm doing right now, taking videos and whatnot, you should be fine. And this is him holding his nunchucks, just kind of showing it to you. This kind of pose might not be too bad, if you leave him in this kind of pose. There's a little bit of bend in there, but nothing too much, nothing to be alarmed of, so you'll be fine. Height comparison wise, this is the Snake Eyes right next to him, also from Threezero. And as you can see, they go well together, like yin and yang, so I would say if you're buying one, just buy the other. And the hands that he's in right now, this is the sword holding hands. I could have switched it, but I didn't want to. But yeah, there you go, guys. You got Storm Shadow from Threezero. Very affordable for a 1/6 figure at 145. Even if you include the shipping, this would be like 149 and plus additional tax. It's still gonna be under, under $200, under 180. So the value is there. You'll get a lot of bang for your buck with the accessories, the two swords. He does have a bow, arrow, that thing in his back. He doesn't come with any guns though, but again, the hoodie, the overall look, the articulation, you can't go wrong, so I highly recommend this figure to you. And the Snake Eyes as well. Now they have some variants where Snake Eyes has a red Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, so a Storm Shadow. But like if you're like myself who just wants a representation, like the old school one, I would go with this one. And I'm telling you right now, you're not gonna regret it. The price plays a big factor here. So if you always wanted to pick up the Hot Toys version, but they're not super expensive, but at the same time, those movies were not well received to begin with. But if you like the movie, hey, by all means, I do have those figures. I do like them, but there's always a room for both. So I hope Threezero continues this line and we see more G.I. Joe figures, because I remember maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, Sideshow was doing G.I. Joes. They got Cobra Commander and all that stuff, but the body of Sideshow is not that good. That's different when it comes to Threezero. So thank you for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments down below how you feel. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.